Men, this is further proof as to why you really need to be careful on who you deal with. Let's go.
Isn't it true that you were the first person to become physically violent with Travis and not the other way around?
No.
Not at all?
Something or show me something if I can't recall the exact steps of the moments.
Question. Okay, so you were the first one to become physically violent with Travis, not the other way around. Answer. Correct.
Yes, I said correct.
You remember that?
Yes.
So you smashed his iPhone not out of anger, but because you were hurt?
Yes.
Okay.
And I didn't send my brothers to kill him.
No, you just sent a text to go shoot up his shit, right?
I didn't say shoot him.
You sent a text to go shoot up his shit, right?
Correct.
Tell the jury what the shit is.
When you're angry, you say things. I'm sure everyone in this courtroom has said something when you're... I'm trying to speak. If you want me to answer your question, you have to let me answer your question.
Well, if you were responsive to my question, I wouldn't have...
All right. Answer the question, please.
Okay. Can you repeat your question?
Question was shit. What does shit mean in the context of that text?
Anything but him.
Okay. So it could have been his brother.
No.
It could have been the house.
Nothing violent toward a person.
It could have been his mother's house, right?
I was upset and my adrenaline was running and I said something that I didn't mean. That's the bottom line of that. I didn't mean for my brothers to do any of that. That's why when my brother left the house, he did not have a firearm on him. People say things when they're upset that they don't mean all the time. But since the situation has happened, it obviously blew up 20 times more. But I didn't necessarily mean for anything to happen to Travis, his family, his house, or anything. It was like my second home. I would not want anything to happen there.
All right. And he never raised a hand and touched you, did he not?
Yeah, he was raising his hand the whole time.
Wow. 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 Drew Titan, Bronze on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. This is a Painful Excellence podcast. I don't know what else to tell you, brothers. I like to keep it very simple here. All right, this is an ongoing case. It's still going on. Matter of fact, it's going on as I record this video. But I like to keep things so simple here. So simple. This is a former NFL player by the name of Travis Rudolph. And this was the hair-hatted hooligan, cackling hyena that he was in a relationship with. And I get annoyed looking at this picture. There's no remorse for anything that transpired that she orchestrated. She just said she was angry, emotional, and in a fit of rage, ran off and got a group of men to go confront this man, and it resulted in somebody dying. This kind of hits home for me, and I bet you there's men all around the world that is looking at this, and if they haven't gone through something similar, they know someone who's gone through something similar or know of a situation where one is dead, one is in jail, and the woman is just walking around in life. I'll give you a brief example. Let me move this picture because this woman's face is it's aggravating me. I'll give you a brief example. I know of a situation where a young man was at work and an older man just walked up on him and took his life with a firearm. Stayed right there on the scene. Police was called. When the police came, locked him up. What did you do that for? His response was, how would you feel if somebody was effing your wife? This was an older gentleman. From what I understand of the situation, the gentleman was in his 60s. Right? The kid he shot was in his 20s, early 20s at that. Come to find out, he was involved with a woman in her late 20s, had a baby with the woman, right? But the woman was getting knocked down by the young man. Now, in this instance, she didn't tell him to go do that, but the dude found out. Here's why this is similar. Men, you need to make better choices when you deal with these women. And you can't react in a fit of rage because they're emotional. What you need to do is start asking questions. In that situation that I just told you about, what he should have done is check his wife first. Now, I don't know what kind of conversation they had. For all I know, she probably lied to him. But that's not what he said. Because I've had this conversation with other women, and they say, oh, well, what if she was assaulted by him? Or no, that's not what happened. Don't even add to the story. The story I got is what happened. If dude raped his wife, he would have said that at the scene. And if she told you that nonsense, the first thing you should have did was go to the police. So don't even add to that. Your wife committed adultery, and in a fit of rage, you went and took a young man's life. He's in jail for the rest of his life. The young man is gone. And what happened with the young lady? Scot-free. She's the victim. She's the victim. This is a sad state of affairs. Men, stop being so reactive. Think your way through a situation. Look at this woman's face. I'm sorry, I don't care. She looks like a troublemaker. She looks like a troublemaker. She looks like a troublemaker. Now let me read to you what's been written about this situation. Travis is charged with 1 count of first-degree murder over the death of Sebastian John Jacques, if I'm saying his name correctly. The former Florida State star also faces 3 counts of attempted first-degree murder. So they went to his house and he got the dumping on them. That's what happened. Both sides presented their arguments on their trial. The prosecution insisted that Rudolph was the aggressor, while the defense maintained that he was a victim. Now, you saw the video. First of all, the law is very, when you hear about it, okay, X amount of guys come to your house. So of course, they're on your property, so you have to defend it. That's not accurate. Multiple people come to your front door, start banging on your door. You ain't got to open the door. I'm just saying. And I know it's Florida, but I'm just saying he didn't have to open the door. Now, I don't know what the conversation was. Hey, man, yo, what's going on? It could have been, hey, man, yo, we just here to see you. We want to talk. He knew they weren't there for a social call. He knew that. But he didn't have to answer the door. All right? That's where things get tricky. That's where things get tricky. Like a police officer that says, hey, man, I was fearful for my life. But then there's body cam or someone on a cell phone saying, nah, you wasn't fear for your life because the guy was running away. You shot him in the back. What are you talking about? And then the cop will still walk on some technicality, but that's another conversation. He didn't have to open the door. All right, so that's why this is not open and shut. All right, I'm just telling you why this is going in the direction that it's going. All right, the judge name is Jeffrey Gillen, to dismiss the case on the grounds of Florida stand your ground law. It was denied. Now the jury will decide if Rudolph instigated the death of John Jocks in self-defense. All right. It was reported that his ex-girlfriend recalled an argument when she discovered he was cheating on her. So I like to keep it simple here, family. He's cheating, and what does she do? She makes a phone call. You see? Man, she said her emotions got the better of her. She texted her brother, Keyshawn Jones, saying, please go shoot his ish up. She admitted that it was a horrible choice of words. What does that mean? Now, we all know street lingo and everything else, but she said, please, she begged him, please go shoot his ish up. There's no other way to interpret that in the court of law. Come on, man. Listen, man. Meanwhile, Keyshawn testified that he and 3 other men, this is 4 dudes, arrived at Rudolph's residence to demand an apology. Wait a minute. You got in the car and went to this man's house to demand an apology? You could have did that on text. You could have did that over the phone. What?
What?
They went over there to demand an apology, not to assault. That's what it says right here. He also clarified that John Jocks did not point a firearm toward the defendant. So then what did you go over there for? Oh, I'm sorry, to demand an apology. No, listen. They went over there to put some work in. And they got work put in on them. The difficulty is Travis didn't have to open the door. And that's where there's a problem. He did not have to answer the door. All he had to do was, if he has that ring that people have, yo, get away from my door, man. Calling the police. And that's what he should have did. He should have called the police. All right, it says right here, however, Tyler Robinson, one of the 3 men with John Jocks, admitted that he had a gun in his pocket. She said, please go shoot his ish up. And this fool had a gun on him. Everything backfired. You see, pun intended. He brought the firearm because he was upset that Rudolph physically assaulted Jones. Now she's saying that she was physically assaulted. Did she go to the police? Yo, this former athlete, he just put mitts on me. Go over there and lock him up. That could have happened. One of Rudolph's neighbors, Ruben Estes, if I'm saying the name correctly, said that Dominique Jones slapped her then boyfriend after learning about his cheating. You see that? Learned about his cheating, and she slapped him. You see? See? He also said that the confrontation took place between Rudolph and Jones' brother entourage. Look. All right, I'm keeping it simple, y'all. You already see what's going on here. It says, while he didn't see the men exposing the weapons, Estes managed to retrieve his firearm before hearing shots fired by Travis Rudolph. After the shooting, he saw Rudolph walking back into his home with a rifle in hand. Do you see what happened here? A shootout happened. All right. Travis got the dumping on these guys. All right. Somebody's in the grave. All right. Travis might be going to jail. And she's the victim. Now look. Now look, man. In my opinion, she needs to be locked up because she orchestrated this entire thing. This is what she wanted. All right, well, no, I'm sorry. What she wanted was Travis to be on the receiving end. She specifically said, go shoot his ish up. That's what, and in the clip, the lawyer's like, what? Define the ish. What's the ish? And then she tried to go off on a tangent, move the goalposts and all kinds of stuff like you trying to debate her in the street. No, you're in the court of law, woman. And the judge, I'm sorry, the judge said, no, define what's the ish. Man, all I know, oh, and by the way, if you read, she's married. I don't care whether she's separated from dude or whatever. She's legally married. She has a whole husband. And she's doing this. Now her husband, whether she's separated or not, it'll be, I want to know more about that. It'll be a blip if he finds out, hey, I didn't even know she was out there putting in work like that. For all we know, he's a 9-to-5 dude. And then he found out, hey, what? Huh? For all we know. But it may come out, hey, man, they were separated or whatever. Fine. But he probably got his popcorn out. I ain't got nothing to do with it. You see, this is why we separated. So you're cheating on your husband. All right. Your brother knew, then calls you up. You lie to your brother. He put mitts on me. Go shoot his ish up. Your brother and his boys go to put in some work. Somebody had a firearm on him. Show up to the house, and one of his boys is dead. This may be a case where everybody's going to jail. Why? Because you found out that he was cheating on you? Wait a minute. You cheated on your husband. This is fair game. Uh-oh.
Whoa! What the take that!
And now everybody's going to jail. No, you need to go to jail. You specifically said go shoot his ish up, and one of them had a firearm on them. And now they're in there talking about we ain't go over there for that. We go over there to demand apology. You could have did it over the phone. You could have did it via text. Man, stop playing. I'm keeping it simple here, y'all. No technical law talk. I'm keeping it simple. This is a woman that got a man killed, and she wanted to act of violence committed on her ex because her heart was broken. Men, what's the lesson from this? Men, how many of y'all in jail? Or how many men are dead or in jail over a woman's lies? Here we go. Look at the picture, y'all. Look at her. She's not remorseful. She's not remorseful. She doesn't care. She doesn't care. She's hoping the results is, yo, look, you got to go to jail for taking that life. That brother that's dead, she shouldn't even show up to the funeral. As a matter of fact, I don't even think she would go. She doesn't care. As long as this dude, Travis, gets locked up, mission accomplished. This is the greatest inconvenience that she can pull. She doesn't care as long as she gets compliance. In her mind, this is justice. It costs a man his life. She don't care as long as he gets some kind of time. It's yes, yes. I ain't telling my brother to do all of that, but so what? His friend is dead, but so what? Because I got what I wanted. This Negro locked up. Yes. That'll show him not to mess with me. Look at her face. Did you hear her on the stand talking to the lawyer when she was being cross-examined? Did you hear her? Watch the case. It's still ongoing. She's not remorseful. She doesn't care. Well, I might touch on this on the live stream. Like and share the video. This is Pay for Listening to this podcast. Y'all let me know what y'all think.